Only don't tell me you're innocent. Because it insults my intelligence.
Have you ever wondered what really went on behind the scenes of one of the greatest films ever made? Welcome to Scene Diary. Today, we're diving deep into The Godfather, uncovering 28 incredible facts and behind-the-scenes stories that reveal how chaos, passion, and brilliance combined to create cinematic history. It all began before the story was even finished. Paramount executive Peter Bart bought the rights to Mario Puzo's novel, The Godfather, when it was still just a 20-page draft. The book was published in 1969, and filming began in March 1971. One of the main reasons Francis Ford Coppola accepted the project was because his friend George Lucas was in debt to Warner Bros. Due to a budget overrun on THX 1138. Lucas urged Coppola to take the job, saying it could save his struggling studio. Coppola insisted that the film should be titled Mario Puzo's The Godfather. Not just The Godfather, to give proper credit to Puzo's novel and vision. Paramount originally wanted a cheap gangster film set in the 1970s, but Coppola refused. He believed the story had to take place in the 1940s and 50s to reflect the true essence of the mafia's rise. Before Coppola, the directing offer was given to Sergio Leone, who turned it down because he didn't want to glorify the mafia. Years later, he regretted that decision and made Once Upon a Time in America instead. The real-life mafia wasn't happy about the film. Crime boss Joseph Colombo tried to stop production and even threatened producer Robert Evans' family. Politicians and business leaders also complained that the film was anti-Italian. To calm tensions, producer Albert S. Ruddy met with Colombo and agreed to remove the words Mafia and Cosa Nostra from the script. In return, the threats stopped, and real mobsters were even hired as extras and consultants. Still, Paramount's owner, Charles Bluedorn, was furious about this agreement and fired Ruddy, halting production. But Robert Evans convinced him that the deal was actually helping the film, and Ruddy was reinstated. Throughout filming, tensions ran high between Coppola and the studio. Paramount even considered replacing him for overspending and delays, though ironically, he finished the film ahead of schedule and under budget. Filming took just 62 days, from March 23rd to May 24th, 1971. Cinematographer Gordon Willis, who became known as the Prince of Darkness, shot the film in low light to reflect the Corleone family's moral shadows. Paramount executives thought the footage was too dark, but Willis and Coppola convinced them it was intentional, a visual metaphor for corruption and secrecy. Coppola and Willis often clashed on set. During one heated argument, the noise was so loud the crew thought Coppola had shot himself, but he'd only smashed a door in frustration. Willis also treated actors harshly, warning that even small mistakes under low lighting could ruin entire takes. Coppola, however, believed in protecting his actors to draw out their best performances. When it came to casting Don Vito Corleone, Orson Welles desperately wanted the part, even offering to lose weight. But Coppola had only one man in mind, Marlon Brando. Before filming, Coppola arranged a family dinner rehearsal so the actors could bond naturally. They stayed in character throughout the meal, which made the family dynamics on screen feel completely real. Brando wanted Don Corleone to resemble a bulldog, so for his audition, he stuffed his cheeks with cotton. For filming, makeup artist Dick Smith crafted a custom mouthpiece, which is now displayed at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures in Los Angeles. Originally, Coppola wanted the movie to open with a wedding scene, but a friend reminded him of the powerful opening of Patton, leading him to rewrite the intro. A slow pullback shot of Bona Sera pleading for justice from Don Corleone. This 3-minute zoom was achieved with a computer-controlled lens previously used in the film's Silent Running. The cat in Brando's lap during that iconic opening wasn't scripted. Coppola found it wandering in the Paramount parking lot. The cat purred so loudly it drowned out Brando's dialogue, forcing the sound team to re-record most of his lines later. Brando, known as one of the pioneers of method acting, rarely memorized lines. He preferred reading from cue cards hidden around the set. believing first-time readings made performances more authentic. He later used the same technique in Superman, where his lines were taped all over the Krypton set. Don Corleone's distinctive raspy voice was inspired by real-life gangster Frank Costello, whose congressional testimony Brando had watched on TV in 1951. During the scene where Corleone's men carry him upstairs, Brando secretly added weights under the mattress as a prank, making it far harder for them to lift. Lenny Montana, who played Luca Brasi, was so nervous acting opposite Brando that he flubbed his lines in the first take. Coppola loved the genuine tension and kept it in the film, later adding a scene of Luca practicing his speech to highlight his nervousness. James Caan improvised many of Sonny's moments, including the one where he smashes a photographer's camera and tosses money to him afterward. The photographer's fear was completely real. Caan explained, "Where I come from, if you break something, you pay for it." Al Pacino struggled with his long Sicilian dialogue in the scene where Michael talks to Apollonia's father. Coppola rewrote it so Michael spoke in English with Fabrizio translating, making the moment more natural. The woman singing during the wedding was played by Morgana King, a real-life jazz singer making her first-ever film appearance. Johnny Russo, who played Carlo Rizzi, got the role through his real-life mob connections and sent his own audition tape to the producers. Brando initially opposed hiring him due to lack of experience. Russo, offended, threatened Brando, and Brando thought he was just acting. In the end, Russo got the role. Most of the cars seen in The Godfather had wooden bumpers because, during World War II, people surrendered their chrome for the war effort and used wood as temporary replacements. The montage of crime photos and headlines during the film was actually edited by George Lucas as a personal favor to Coppola. He even used real crime scene images, including one of gangster Frank Nitti's body. The piano you hear during the montage was played by Coppola's own father, Carmine. Mario Puzo claimed that the character Johnny Fontaine wasn't based on Frank Sinatra, but Sinatra was furious anyway. He confronted Puzo at a restaurant, shouted at him, and nearly attacked him. Puzo later said, "If he hadn't been so much older than me, he would have beaten me badly." Ironically, Puzo was actually 5 years younger. Coppola filled the movie with family members. His sister Talia Shire played Connie. His mother appeared as a restaurant extra. His father composed the music, and his children appeared in background scenes, including baby Sofia Coppola, who played the infant Michael Rizzi at just 3 weeks old. Composer Nino Rota reused a melody from a previous film, Fortunella, leading the Academy to withdraw his Oscar nomination. Yet he still won Golden Globe, BAFTA, and Grammy Awards for the score, and later won the Oscar for The Godfather Part 2, even after reusing the same love theme. When Marlon Brando won the Oscar for Best Actor, he refused it. Instead, he sent Apache activist Sachin Littlefeather to the ceremony to decline the award in protest of Hollywood's mistreatment of Native Americans. Even Stanley Kubrick once said The Godfather had the greatest cast in film history, and might be the best movie ever made. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of another journey through cinema history. Thank you for watching Scene Diary. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories behind the world's most legendary films. Until next time, stay cinematic.